Okay, Brenda.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is staying in a nice, cool spot on this hot day, that they got their feet in some ice water and got them something cold to drink, and got, if you got long hair, got it piled up on your head or something, so that you're going to stay cool today. It's going to be a scorcher out there, and it got hot early here in Indiana this morning. I've got some stories to tell. I was going to tell them over on my channel before the show this morning, but I had issues with the YouTube, and so I decided that I would just put it off, and I'll do a show after our show today, anybody that's interested. But I have a funny story to tell you guys, and I'll do it on my channel there after we do the news here today. And other than that, I went up to Walmart. I got me a few groceries, and I had to do that real early, you know, Pat, because if I try to go and it gets crowded up there at the store, I'll never get my shopping done because of all the autograph hounds, since I'm a YouTube sensation here, you know, and a big YouTube star. And if I go really early, then I don't have to dress up, and I can wear my leopard stretchy pants with my flip-flops up to the Walmart. And so I put on my Ray-Bans. I thought maybe, you know, if there was anybody that would accidentally recognize me, if I had my Ray-Bans on, you know, nobody would notice who I was. And I was able to slip in and out of there real early this morning and get back home. But other than that, I'll save the rest of it for my channel a little bit later, Pat. How's everything going in South Dakota this morning? Is it hot there?
It's going to be a hot one today. But what are you going to do? Got to just go with the flow, I guess. So, did a little bit of yard work yesterday. Took the bike out. Went for a ride on the bike. Got a little sunburn. I got to remember though, not to wear my wife beater shirts on the bike, man, because man, my shoulders are fried.
Oh wow!
So, but yeah, other than that, it's another wonderful day in the neighborhood. Trying to live the dream. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, I'll share a tip with you. When you get a sunburn, get out the vinegar and rub some vinegar on that sunburn. And if you take a bath, put some vinegar in the bath water and sponge that vinegar water over that sunburn good, and it'll help take the sting out of that sunburn. And if you've got some Noxzema skin cream, you can get it at most any drugstore, pharmacy department, in any store. Get some Noxzema cream, keep it in the cabinet. When you get a sunburn, after you've wiped it down with vinegar real good, put that Noxzema on there, and it'll take the sting out of that sunburn and help you heal up a lot faster.
Fran's been she put that, what do you call it? Aloe, whatever that green crap is. Oh man, that shit's cold.
Yep.
Holy crap, is that cold? But I don't know. I had fun yesterday. Like I said, did some yard work, played, and made a couple of videos, uploaded them, and I got more coming on the Clintons and stuff. And well, you know, I hope everybody got to see them. You know, I got more dirt that's coming on them. I might get in trouble for it, so I don't know. I may lose my channel going after the Clintons, but they're not the only ones on my hit list right now. There's a lot of them that are on my hit list, and I'm going to be becoming more and more vocal on all the issues that are popping up. But I'm going to leave that for a little later in the show. So Brenda, why don't you get us started, sweetheart?
Well, I will give Pat's channel a shameless plug here. If you don't know what he's talking about on the videos, you need to go over to Pat's channel and watch them later today. He put up some really cool videos about the Clintons, and you need to see them, and just in case they do end up being took down. But yeah, he did a good one. And then I did a show yesterday afternoon telling some stories. So if you like my stories that I tell, you'll want to go over and see the one I did yesterday. But I got one scheduled for 1:30 this afternoon that I'm going to do, telling you something funny that happened this morning. I laughed and laughed. I'm still laughing about it, and I'll probably be laughing for weeks. So you might want to tune in there to my channel at 1:30 to hear that one. So we put in our shameless plugs, Pat, for for our channels this morning. But I think before we wind up into the news, what we ought to do is get some audience participation. You know, we had some fun with the audience last Friday. Everybody seemed to enjoy some of the things we did. We had Jeremy come in and well, he was the man on the Sunset Strip. And while his shoes was melting into the pavement, we had fun with that last Friday. But I think we need some audience participation a little bit. And I was thinking that a lot of these people don't know me or you, either one, real well. And maybe they like to ask us some questions. That don't mean that they're going to get answers, or it doesn't mean that they're going to get honest answers, but they're welcome to ask us anything that they want to ask us here in the chat room this morning. So I thought we'd just throw it out there and just see if there's anything that the folks in the chat room would like to ask Pat or I. And, you know, we just talk to the audience here for a few minutes before we get into the news this morning. Got several of them in there. So we'll just sit here and give them a chance to come up with some questions that they would like to ask us.
You know, you're opening up a can of worms doing this, right?
I live on the edge, Pat. Okay, we got a question from Baby. She wants to know, Pat, is coffee making without water easy to eat?
Wow. No, BB, that was a one-time deal. Okay. I have been adding water to my coffee, but I do thank you, sweetheart.
That was the, what day of the week was that, Pat, that you pulled that stunt? Was that Friday?
I think so.
I think that was Friday. That was the Friday special on the menu at Pat's house. dry roast coffee.
Oh man, people are never gonna let me live that one down.
House Grand's ball.
Oh God. Oh, I was doing a show under the desk, improve the connect. Oh my God. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that one. Is it better for me to be under the desk or sitting in a chair? Does it sound better? Do I sound more sexier,
I like the audio on that new camera. I'll tell you what, that sounds good. If I ever get mine to work, so I'm having trouble with mine now. I get the blue screen of death with my camera if I try to turn it on that tower, Pat.
Did you scream ouch when you busted? Oh my God. Oh, I could see this is going to beat up on Pat Day today. I could see that. Thank you, Brenda, for that. I really appreciate that. Wow.
You're feeling the love, Pat. Feel the love.
I'm feeling the love right now. Oh, man.
Say, when we stop picking on you, that's when you need to get worried.
Wow. Yes, I know, BB. I love all of you guys too. Oh man. Oh, come on! You got to pick on the redhead here too, not just on me.
They're afraid to ask me anything.
Yes, I know that. I would get very concerned if you didn't pick on me. Oh man, I gotta love it though. It's fun.
I tried to tell them on my channel a while ago when I was trying to do my show in spite of YouTube. I was trying to tell them how I make sweet tea, because so many people don't know how to make a decent glass of sweet tea. So what I was telling them is, you get a 5-gallon bucket and you fill it up at least 3/4 the way full of sugar. A little more is even better. And then you put 1 cup of hot water over top of that sugar, and then you wave a tea bag over it and stir it up.
There's a question there for you from BB.
Let's see. Do you get to sign a lot of autographs for Walmart? Well, it's not for Walmart. It's up there at Walmart. You know, I get out of the vehicle. As soon as they see me coming, I get mobbed by the crowd, all wanting me to sign autographs because I'm such a YouTube sensation and I'm so popular. And I have to dress up to go to Walmart now. I can't wear my leopard stretchy pants unless I sneak in there in the wee hours of the morning while everybody's still asleep. I even wore my Ray-Bans this morning so I wouldn't be recognized. You know, you got to be real careful going up there because you will never get your shopping done with all the autographs you got to sign. You know, I'll tell you what, being a YouTube sensation is not what everybody might think it is.
Wow. Wee's got a question for. Oh no, Wee's taking the Fifth Amendment on this one. Really? Oh hell no! Wow. Let's just beat up on Pat.
Yeah. Now, CBD understands. She says you wave that tea bag over top of the bucket so the tea bag don't get wet, and it's endless use of a tea bag. See, you can stretch it forever that way.
Wow. Oh my God. Gotta love it. I gotta love it. You know, at least we try to have some fun on this show.
Jeremy's saying that he's seen that chick Angeline there in LA in her pink and leopard stretchy pants. She got that idea from me, Jeremy. I made her famous.
I think Jeremy's probably had his tongue dragging on the ground when he saw her, right, Jeremy?
Hey, Alex wants to know about your Harley.
Nothing fancy, Alex. If you go check my channel out, I'll be posting pictures so you can check it out. Nothing fancy, just your ordinary bike. Street glide. That's all. Nothing fancy. I can't afford those fancy bikes. You know, some of them are real pricey anymore. But I enjoy riding it, though. I can tell you that. Enjoy it. I got to worry about the idiots in the cars, though. I got to really worry about them. They don't pay attention, especially when Sturgis comes around in August, the first week of August. It gets really hairy around here with all the bikes out here and all these RVs traveling the road. You just gotta pay attention. But I try to do my riding during the daytime. At night, I won't take the bike out at night because we got a population of deer and the coyotes and all that, and some bikers have been killed where deer have jumped out in front of them. So, but I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've had several around here get hit already this year. Fellas on motorcycles, and that's a dangerous proposition. You have to really be careful on them things. Somebody don't hit you.
Well, the problem is a lot of the guys that come out here for the bike rally, they don't know the mountains up here, and they think they can take somebody's curves, you know, at 60, 70 miles an hour, and you can't do that, especially in Boulder Canyon or Spearfish Canyon. Even hell, going up to Mount Rushmore, the road is kind of windy, and a lot of them are not familiar with the roads out here and up here being in the mountains, and they'll just, you know, wipe out. And it's scary, you know. I try to stay away from, you know, heavy, you know, a whole lot of them riding together, because that seems a lot of that, they get in trouble a lot when they're all riding in a big pack close together, and I try to stay away from that.
We wants to know if you're seeing more RVs out there.
Yes. This time of year we start seeing a lot more. They come to the Black Hills. They come because of Deadwood. If anybody's not familiar with Deadwood, South Dakota, there's a lot of history. You might want to Google it or go on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on them, on Deadwood, and it's a lot of history out here in the Black Hills. Your turn to speak, Brenda.
Well, I was waiting to see if somebody's going to ask you some more questions. I mean, you know, this is your opportunity to get to know the superstars of YouTube. For crying out loud, you mean you can't come up with no more questions than that? Holy smoke, folks.
I do have to say, if anybody gets the opportunity where they can travel or come on vacation, come check the Black Hills out. It won't disappoint you out here. It really won't. There's just so much out here to see. Devil's Tower, which is Wyoming. Just so much history out here, and it won't disappoint you. I can guarantee you.
We wants to know where you want to see this channel go. I'm glad she asked you instead of some other people, because that might be an open-ended question for some folks.
Yeah, right. I really don't know where this show's going to take us. I think we're just going to go along for the ride, and where it takes us, it takes us. I want it to be a friendly show. I want it to be where you guys in the chat room participate with us, to interact with us, to have fun, and then there's times to be serious. Just want us to be us, not to be something that we're not, and give you our opinions, whether you agree or disagree. Give you the honest opinions on how we feel, and take your opinions on how you feel too, and interact them with the show. But I want all of you to be a part of it with me and Brenda. I just don't want it just to be about me and Brenda. I want you guys to be a part of it too. Like I said, every day I will say thank you to everybody in the chat room. I won't forget any of you. But I do appreciate all of you being here and supporting me and Brenda in this venture. Brenda?
Yes, I agree with you, Pat. I am what I am. You know, I don't put on airs for nobody. I'm too old for that. I don't have the patience for that. And, you know, if you ask me my opinion, you better be sure you want to hear it, because I'll give it to you, and it might not be what you're expecting. But, yeah, we want some audience participation. We want you all to feel like you're part of the show, that you know, you enjoy what we're doing. And, you know, if you don't like what we're doing, you can tell us, and we may or may not pay attention to it. But if you like what we're doing, you know, we want to hear that too. And we want you to like and share the show and subscribe to the show, whether you like it or not. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you about say, oh, only if you like. No, we want you to like it and share it, whether you like it or not. The news that we share is not necessarily going to be good news. And for the most part, I think probably 99.9% of the time, it's not going to be good news, because what's going on with our government. Hopefully in time to come, we will see a day when the news is good news, and that'll brighten it up a little bit. And while it's not good news, maybe we can brighten it up with our sense of humor and have a little fun with what's going on in spite of it all. But yeah, we don't know where it's going to go. you know, we just want to bring you the news and give our opinion a little bit and have some fun with y'all. So we just kind of, I don't know, integrate things as we go. We decided yesterday, we had a little meeting about it and decided that we're going to start cutting the show down to an hour instead of 2 hours, because 2 hours is a bit much for anybody to sit there and listen to this news that's going past us. It eats at us after a while. And we can cover 3 or 4 stories a day and still interact with y'all and enjoy this. So instead of covering 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 stories and, you know, driving us into the ground and depressing us to no end, we're just going to hit some of the high points. Well, we know that y'all are very capable of researching, and there's plenty of other shows that's giving news and stuff too that don't interact with the chat rooms and don't enjoy the people that's watching them. So, you know, you all know where those shows are, and you're welcome to watch them too. But for this one, you know, we just want to enjoy our chatters, our viewers, and bring you a little bit of news and throw our opinions out there. And where it goes, well, that's open for debate. Depends on who you ask. But hopefully you don't ask some of the people that's going to say nasty things, you know.
How about some real news on what is really being done in Washington? Yes, just let us finish this segment, and I'm going to have a lot to say. And like I said, sorry, Brenda, I have to do this. I did put it in the chat room. I'm sorry if anybody gets mad at me, but this is how I feel, and I'm going to let it go. And everybody's going to know where I stand on this. So just give us a few minutes here, and we will be talking about it.
Well, if you want to go ahead and get into it, I think you're talking about that St. Paul story.
Well, we have the St. Paul, Minnesota story, and we have the Idaho story that I came across, and never, needless to say, that it really irritated me. But the first thing I think we should just touch on here just a little bit, for those of you that really don't follow too much of what goes on in Washington, all 4 bills on the gun control failed in the Senate. If you are a Republican or constitutionalist or whatever you are, the White House, if you don't support the new measures in the gun law, the White House is classifying you as supporting the terrorists, cowards, and are the cause.
Pat, you're breaking up a little bit. You might want to get up on that mic better or something.
This better?
Yes.
So that we've been called, people are being called names, the folks that don't support the gun law. If you want to check it out, it really irritated me when I started reading that. So, Brenda, what's your thought on that?
Well, you knew that the Democrats were going to retaliate when they didn't get their way with those gun laws. So, you know, what they're basically, is, in my opinion, of course, what they're basically trying to do is they're trying to say, okay, if you Republicans don't want to back these bills to support the gun control, what we're going to do is make you look bad in the eyes of the voters and cost you your seats come the election. That's the way I see it happening. Although I don't know, I don't believe that the voting populace is necessarily as stupid as what the Democrats is making us out to be. I think that people are waking up. A lot of us are awake, and a lot of us understand what the Constitution is, and a lot of us understand that Democrats apparently are trying to take our constitutional rights away from us when they're pushing on those gun laws, trying to get that stuff through to ban our weapons. They're trying to ban our speech. They're trying to ban our weapons. They're trying to ban all of our rights. They've shoved that Obamacare at us. They fine us in the way of taxes if we don't have the Obamacare. You know, anything they can do that's unconstitutional, that's exactly what they're doing. They do not believe in the Constitution. It's very simple. So the more people that educate themselves and start to understand what the Constitution is, what it stands for, and those are our rights. The government cannot remove those rights from us, even though they try, even though they've made laws against the Constitution, unconstitutional laws. It's up to us to make sure that those unconstitutional laws that they have passed get repealed. And that's my take on it.
More people got to start standing up and speaking out. There's just so much that is happening around us, and it's being covered up, swept under the rug by the mainstream media, by our so-called politicians. Oh, we're here for the American people. We do that. No, you don't. You do it for your own self needs. You know, they have no problem calling patriots, you know, standing up for the Constitution, speaking out on the Constitution. They have no problem calling them or us domestic terrorists, but they have a problem calling Islamic extremist terrorist. Really? I'm a little irritated about these refugees coming into this country, and they are getting helping hands while there's American people that can deserve it. But yet we're going to put them aside, and we're going to take care of these refugees. Give me a break. Yesterday we reported on a story coming out of Twin Falls, Idaho, where a 5-year-old girl was raped, and a 13-year-old boy was cheering an 8-year-old boy and another boy on to do this. Well, supposedly the younger boys were too young to jerk off. They pissed on her. The people went to the council meeting, and they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to hide what had happened. One of the police chief came out and said, well, they're not Syrian refugees. They're Somalia and Iraqi refugees. Well, aren't they the same? They're refugees. They're all the same. And then what really irritated me further is that now there's a petition going around that they want the prosecutor and the police to step up the investigation to force them in to going after these individuals instead of sweeping it under the rug. They don't want to infuriate any actions coming the refugee way, retaliation or anything. They don't want. They're trying to cover it up and play it low key. That they don't want, retaliation against the refugees. Then this morning, there's a story that was breaking out of St. Paul, Minnesota. A mother dropped her 5-year-old child off at the bus stop. Now, supposedly, normally, normally would be there with the child, but for some reason she wasn't. She dropped the child off. A school bus driver came along, looked to the southeast corner, and saw a little child crying. The child proceeded to run towards the bus driver. The child was bloody, face swollen, panties down to her ankles. Now, in the report, they're saying, well, possibly raped. There's no possible rape. The child was raped. Period. She was assaulted. Reports also were coming that the child received a broken nose. 5 years old, for people. 5 years old. I want everybody to take a step back and just think it for a minute. If it was your granddaughter, your daughter. I'm going to say something right now, and a lot of you may not like it. But on my channel, I am going to be the biggest loudmouth anybody's ever seen against these damn refugees coming into this country. I'm tired of the American people being put second and these people putting ahead of us. It's disgusting. And more people need to start speaking up and calling these morons in the mainstream media saying, where the hell are you at? Why ain't you talking about this? Why ain't these stories being told on what's happening in our towns, in our communities? The chicken shits won't go after American women because they don't know if the American woman's carrying, or they're going to get their asses beat by an American woman. So they're going to go after our children. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty upset over this. No child should have hands put on them. No child should be sexually molested by anyone. I don't care who you are. So, with that, you will see more videos coming on my channel. I am pretty pissed off about this, that nobody from the independent media is talking about it. Nobody on mainstream media is talking about it. Nobody. But it shows up on Facebook. And in a minute you make a comment on Facebook about it, your comments are deleted or you're taken down. It's disgusting that we're all falling asleep and we're not paying attention to what's happening around us. And yet we're going to be called part of the problem by these libtards because we don't support what you want to do with the gun laws. Well, you libtards are the main problem for the problems we're having in this country. You people caused it. This idiot that we have in the White House right now has caused more division in this country than any other president has. And we need to speak up about it. So I don't know where we go, but I am going to be the biggest voice on this from here on out. You could take my channel down. I will start a new one. But I will be talking and putting this out there because this is disgusting. Somebody has to do it. And I hope to God everybody in this chat room will start putting videos together and start speaking out. Get this word out that we're not going to take this crap no more. This division in this country has got to stop. The division in the independent media has got to stop. What the hell are we trying to accomplish if we're going to not cover what's happening, or we're going to continue to go after one another? And we're going to continue to lie to one another. Mainstream media is doing a good enough job of lying and covering up stories and hiding stuff. I'm sorry. I am passionate about this. You do not have the right to do any harm to any of our kids. Any of them. Go ahead, Brenda. I'm sorry.
No, you're on a roll. I agree with you. Um, this country is a melting pot of immigrants from all over the world coming in here to make a better life legally entering the country. I don't know where it came about. I don't know how it came about. But all of a sudden, it just became acceptable to allow people to come into the United States illegally and then get handed everything on a silver platter. They get handed EBT cards, they get handed health care, they get handed housing, clothing, anything they want. Just come on in, help yourself. While our veterans are homeless, they can't get decent care at the VA. They're doing without food, and it gets illegal to try to feed them. If they're on the street, you'll be arrested. How in the heck did things get so twisted? Other than the fact that decent people haven't stood up and said, absolutely not, we're not putting up with this. I mean, what happened in this country that just allowed people to walk in here, walk all over us, rape us, kill us, take everything that we own? I believe it was over in Germany. Now, I could stand corrected by that, but it was in another country, and has only been a couple weeks ago, where the government put people out of their homes and gave those homes to the illegal immigrants. Are you kidding me? I mean, think about this for a minute. I don't care if you own or you rent or what your situation is, but just say that all of a sudden this afternoon your doorbell rings or somebody knocks on your door, you go and it's the police and they say, hey, you got to go. What do you mean I got to go? Well, no, you got to go. We got this family out here, these illegal immigrants, and they're taking your home. Well, where am I supposed to go? Well, we don't care, but you're out of here. We're giving your house to them. Can you imagine? We're close to that. We are, I mean, within the hair on a gnat's butt of that happening here. Is that what it's going to take for everybody to stand up and say, we're not putting up with these illegal immigrants anymore? To be put out of your home? Because it's coming to that. Does it take a member of your family getting raped or killed by one of these illegal immigrants that's not properly vetted to come into this country? Why do they have to come in here illegally? Why can't they go through the process like everybody else has gone through for generations? Why can't they fill out the paperwork, get themselves a sponsor, and come in here legally and work for a living and do what they're supposed to do and not be a drain on the system? We don't owe these people anything. Lord have mercy. We're working our tails off paying taxes now to try to support our own system, let alone support them too. They can get in here and work like anybody else and keep themselves out of trouble or get themselves shipped right out of here. What do you say, Pat?
You're right. Excuse me. You're right on the spot with that. We need to start standing up, people. We really do. It's going to get worse. Now, I'm not saying, hold on, I want to make this clear. What happened in Twin Falls, there's a lot of witnesses. There's a lot of people saying that it was refugees that are in this country. 3 boys that did this to this little girl. Minnesota, they're not quite sure on who the individual was that did this to this little girl. So I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that a refugee did that in Minnesota. Okay, but yeah, I lost my train of thought there. I apologize. I'm not saying that they were refugees or a refugee that did the attack on the little girl in Minnesota. They still don't know. The little girl is so traumatized that she'll talk and then she'll shut up, and she'll talk and then she'll clam up, which is understandable. They got to, yes, give her some therapy with a counselor and help this little girl. But I am so irritated because everybody wants to focus on what Donald Trump, what Hillary Clinton, what Paul Ryan, what they're saying. I don't give a crap what they say because they're not going to tell you the truth. Look, I'm not telling you to believe everything that me and Brenda say. All I'm saying is look this stuff up. Go look at it. Come to your own conclusions. Put it out there. We do have a problem in this country right now with these refugees settling here. And a lot of people are closing their eyes to it. Well, are you going to wake your eyes up when it happens to your family? Are you going to wake your eyes up if it happens to your wife? Or your daughter, your granddaughter, your mother, your grandmother? Just look at what is happening in Europe. It's here. Everybody said, oh, it can't come here. It's not going to happen here. Really? It's here. It is here. And it's sad. It's totally sad. And there's so much more out there. Everybody, I understand they look at the news, the U.S. news, they look at their town or their state news. Look at other states. Look at Minnesota. Look at the states that have the highest population right now of the Muslim refugees. Idaho, Minnesota, Michigan, Chicago. That's just a few that I have found. We can't sit and be complacent anymore. We have to start getting loud. And we have to start standing by one another and sticking up for one another and fighting this. I'm not saying go out and be best friends with everybody. I'm not telling you to go be kumbaya with the ones you don't like. But damn it, America's worth fighting for. Our kids, our grandkids are worth fighting for. Not sitting back and worrying about what some dipshit is doing. There's a lot of good people on the internet in this mainstream media. There's a lot of good people that just do videos. They put out good content. A lot of them. And I watch a lot of them. And there's a lot of them that I watch and I listen, and a lot of you don't like. But that's fine. But we can't be doing this anymore. This is getting to be serious, what's happening. If you don't think we are going to be hit again, you got another thing coming. Something bigger's coming, and we've been warned that it's coming. And it's about damn time we stand together and get loud and say we're not going to tolerate it no more. I'm sorry that I'm irritated this morning, but I get irritated when I hear people attack children. I have a problem with that. And everybody else in this country should have the same damn problem I do with it. We all know that there's terror cells here. There's training sites here. We know they're here, but nobody's saying nothing. Everybody wants to sweep it under the rug. Oh, if we say anything, we're going to have the attorney general come down on us, or she's going to arrest us. Well, guess what, lady? Come arrest me, because I'm not going to shut up on this anymore. Not when our kids are being hurt by you and by your damn policies. Everyone should be outraged. Everyone. Brenda?
I remember as a kid when we weren't afraid to go outside and play. We didn't have to have adult supervision to go outside and play. Of course, I was raised in the country, but get on my bicycle. My granny lived about a half a mile down the road, and I'd get on my bike and ride down the road to Grandma's house. And when I was done down there at her house, I'd get on my bike and I'd pedal back home. And I didn't need adult supervision for any of that. Go and come as you please. You can't do that to kids no more, because you never know when somebody's going to try to snatch them or rape them or kill them, or Lord only knows what they do to them. I saw where somebody put in there that, it was a problem with a 5-year-old walking to the bus. Well, when I was a kid, it wasn't nothing for 5-year-olds to walk to school, to kindergarten class and stuff. If you lived in town, you could live as much as a mile away and still have to walk to school. And parents didn't walk them to school, you knew where the school was. You walk down there and go to school, and then you walk back home. But you can't do stuff like that no more. You have to be watching your kids every minute because of what might happen to them when they're out the door. And that's a sad world to live in, where you have to be afraid of what's going to happen to your kid just because it goes out the door.
And that's what we're becoming. That is what's happening right now. I can't say it enough, and I know you guys are going to get tired of hearing me say it, but enough. I'm saying enough. Let's get loud. Let's scream at the top of our lungs that we're not going to take this crap no more. Just look at what's happening with this election. It's dividing us. It's dividing us. It's killing us as a people. And we're allowing it. We're allowing mainstream media to put their propaganda bullshit out there from what the politicians want them to say. Now, yesterday they wanted to cut that 911 tape from that piece of crap that did the shooting in Orlando. But there was just so much backlash, they had to release it. But they still cut out certain things. Why are we so damn afraid that we have to protect these assholes? And I'm sorry I'm cursing, but today I'm pissed. So we got to protect them. We can't hurt their feelings. BS.
Well, okay, I'm going to take this a step further, and this doesn't have anything to do with the refugees, but what about them not releasing the names of the shooters on the boy? I mean, why aren't they releasing that? This goes to the government only letting us know what they want us to know. They're not giving us the information. When we ask for the information, it should be provided freely. They don't have anything to hide. Get it out there. We ask for it. We want it. We want to know what the hell's going on. We're not mushrooms.
Well, like I said, something needs to change. And no, Link, I'm not saying you're not loud enough, because you do have a loud mouth, and that's why everybody likes you. It's just ridiculous that they go so far out of their way to protect these bastards. But yet, men that stood up for the Constitution, stood up for a fellow American that was in trouble, that went back to jail, a family destroyed. And I'll tell you, I'll retract that. Families destroyed because they took the step forward to support the Constitution and they're classified as domestic terrorists. But the real terrorists, we got to protect them. You cannot say nothing bad about them because if you do, we're going to come after you. And people will just sit back and take it. I'm tired of hearing these libtards saying war on women, war on this. Bullshit. Hillary Clinton, where'd you get your damn money from? You got it from these foreign countries that discriminate against women, that shoot women, that throw stones at women. Or what about the children, Hillary? You marry them off at 12 years old to a 70-year-old man. Then when he gets done with her, he kills her. War on women, my ass. Where are the women speaking out on this? This bimbo must think women in this country are stupid.
Well, let's give credit where credit's due, Pat. She doesn't just think women's stupid. She thinks everybody's stupid.
The more and more I did the research, putting those videos together, and there's more. I have so much more coming, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for it, but oh well. You know, this bimbo really thinks that Americans are stupid. She has to. Look at her stupid ass comments. She will talk about everybody else but not her. Well, guess what, you bimbo? And I hope supporters listening that support her, guess what? I'm not done. I'm nowhere done with her or that family. It's a disgrace. And people need to start stepping up. She's not an American. She's a traitor. She's a traitor to all women, all children. I leave the men out because we don't think too much of her anyway. There's so much BS going on. We need to come together, folks. Now, a lot of people think we lost our country. I don't think so. I think we can fight. And I'm not ready to give up. And I hope to God and pray that none of you are ready to give up. But I'm going to fight this to the day I die. Just think for a minute what our country's going to look like when our children, our grandchildren get to be our age. I got a bad feeling it's going to be a third world country. This country's going to look like some of those scumbag countries that are over there. Just look how they live over there. And they want to bring that shit here. Just remember one thing, and everybody should go check on this. That Valerie Jarrett, that piece of crap, is an Iranian Muslim. Sunday talk shows came out and said, we are going to change America. And you know what? If we keep doing what we're doing, sitting back and not opening our eyes and not saying a damn thing about it, they're going to change it. Better bend over and leave the Vaseline because it's coming. I'm sorry I'm irate today, but reading the stories about the children, reading what that stupid moron attorney general we have defending these idiots, morons, whatever you want to call them. And that piece of crap that's running our White House. He ain't my president. He's a piece of crap. He destroyed this country. And we got another one that's going to come in and make it even worse. If this bimbo gets in the White House, kiss our First and Second Amendments goodbye. Guaranteed. Goodbye. And we're the blame because none of us are standing up. And I'm partially the fault too because I kept my mouth shut for the longest time, had blinders on thinking that it wasn't ever going to happen to us in this country. Well, I'm starting to wake and I'm starting to see this crap. Brenda?
Well, you know, Obama signed all these executive orders about this martial law business and all. And this is going to be a very interesting election because I fully expect that the election will take place. And then after the outcome of the election is going to be when the martial law breaks out because people are not going to be accepting of what the election results are. And there'll be a few more years of Obama in office, which will give them time to lock up all the dissenters or kill them so that they can go ahead and put their plan into place. I think the next few years is going to be one hell of a battle for those of us who believe in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that entails, because the current regime and the elite and Illuminati and all that sort of thing seem to be running the show here. They have a plan in motion, and we don't know exactly what it is. We can only guess. But I say that it's going to get extremely interesting in November. It's going to be interesting up until then, but November is going to be a very enlightening month for everybody.
You know, you got to worry about next month with the convention in Cleveland. You know, I said it earlier that they weren't going to issue permits to Trump supporters, but they were going to issue permits to these Soros people that like to burn up cities and terrorize neighborhoods and terrorize people. You know, I really don't think Trump supporters are going to sit back and take it. There's a lot of biker groups that are supporting Trump, and they're starting to follow Trump all over the place. And a lot of these biker groups are not going to sit back and be told, no, we can't participate, but those up there are going to be able to. You're looking for trouble.
Real quick, before we go off the air here, did you hear about the teenage Trump supporter that, or well, he wasn't a supporter actually, he was a protester. And he acted like he was a supporter to get up close to the stage where Trump was yesterday. And he tried to steal a gun from a security guard to shoot Trump with.
Yep, I read that in Las Vegas. He got Trump to sign an autograph and then supposedly went to reach for a gun because he was going to shoot Trump. You know, it's scary. Whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump, but go back and listen to some of his speeches. Just go back and listen to some of them, okay? A lot of what he has said over this past year has come true. And a lot of people don't like him because he speaks his mind and he doesn't care who he offends. That's why a lot of people like him. All right. BB, yes, Trump did donate money to the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation. Yes, he does not deny that. Okay. Trump also has donated to a lot of politicians, and it's well known who he's donated to. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'll never do that to anybody. Okay. But damn it, Trump is a hell of a lot better than Clinton. A hell of a lot better than Clinton. At least that man, and I believe it with all my heart, that he will defend the Constitution. So that's just my opinion on that. And you know,
Well, I'll say this,
wake up.
Pat. I'll say this. I don't know that I trust Trump. I don't know that he's 100% legitimate. He's wanting the job. So, you know, he's like any rest of them. You say whatever he thinks it's going to take to get him in there. I do agree, however, that I think that he would beat Hillary as being the president because I know what she stands for. And that scares the hell out of me. Him, I'm not extremely sure what he stands for. I think he might be just an iota better than her, but that will remain to be seen if he is to win the election. I don't want Bernie in there either. He's a socialist. You know, if you want to work for pennies on the dollars, so all your income goes for the taxes to support all those that want to lay around and, you know, feed off the system. Well, then you're a Bernie supporter. I don't agree with what he stands for. And that seems to be what we've got up there for election. So, you know, while they say, oh, well, don't vote for the less of two evils because you're still getting evil. Well, you know, how evil do you want it to get? If you don't vote for the less of two evils, then you're probably going to get the worst of the evils. And that's going to be a real problem. So, you know, at some point, you got to make a stand. You got to stand.
Right.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You remember that old saying?
People need to do their own legwork and look instead of following and listening to what they're reading about Donald Trump. That man has donated a lot of money to a lot of organizations, a lot of charities. Okay. He did not turn his back on the victims of 9/11. And I praise him for that and what he did. I praised him for what he did for one of his, when he ran the Miss America pageant, where one of the women came down with cancer, or she's fighting cancer. And he's going to pay for her son to finish his education. He's taking it out of his own pocket. How many so-called millionaires do that? There's not many that will do that. So, is he the perfect candidate? I can't tell you. But you have to believe some of the stuff that he's saying that he wants to do. The wall, yeah, we do need that wall built. I believe that. 100%.
It's going to take more than a wall.
I know. I understand that. He believes in the Constitution. Fine. Now, I don't know what side of the fence you're on, but everybody's attacking him over this Planned Parenthood. Well, he's not saying that Planned Parenthood is all no good. There's a lot of good that Planned Parenthood does for women and having their women's test and physicals. What he's saying is what they're doing when aborting babies and taking the fetuses and selling them and doing other stupid crap. That's what he's talking about. But yet he's being chastised going after the women in Planned Parenthood. People need to go back and listen to what he said. Same thing on the VA. I agree with him. Every last one of them bastards need to be fired and put people in there that are competent to take care of these guys. They deserve it. Instead of worrying about how much money we're going to make. Take care of these guys. They deserve it. You know,
Well, we've got a little over 4 months before the election. It's going to be interesting to see what all transpires between now and then. You know, we got these conventions and stuff to get through and see what the powers that be say about this, because I think it's still up in the air whether or not the Republicans are going to put Trump on the ballot. He may have to run, on his own. So it'll be interesting to see what all transpires through all this thing. I'd like to be able to believe him, but I don't know. Once bitten, twice shy. I believe an awful lot of things that different ones have said over the years that was running for different offices, and they get in there and they do something entirely different. It would be nice to know that somebody has actually walked the walk, and now they're talking the talk and proving that they, are going to keep up to their word. I'm just not real sure about anybody.
Right. I want to say something, okay? You're right, Jimmy. Somebody that'll follow the Constitution. I agree with you 110%. Gary Johnson, independent. As much as I like the guy and as much as I like what he says, he has no chance in hell. The mainstream media is not going to give him the attention. You know damn well they're not going to let him get up on that debate stage and debate Trump or Hillary. You know they're not. Both parties are not going to allow it. Is it time for us to have a third party in this country? Yeah, I believe there is. We need a third party now.
I think we're past due for it. We should have had that many years ago.
Right. And I believe that. We do need a third party. But what I'm trying to say is all these guys, the Libertarian Party, the Independent Party, these guys ain't going to have a chance. And it's sad to say that, but it's a true fact. Because nobody's going to give them the time of day to get their message out. And these bastards are not going to allow them to get up on a stage and debate either one of them. They're not. They fight every time there's a presidential election. We always have a Libertarian Party or an Independent Party that come out with some type of candidate. That's great. That's fantastic. We should. But that they're not going to give them the time of day to get their message out. And how many people actually are following them? How many people are actually listening to them? Who's getting all the attention? Trump and Clinton and Bernie. I totally agree that we need a third party, and I totally agree with that. But reality is, they're not going to allow it to happen. They're not. And it's just a sad state of affairs that we're in. But like I said, I'm tired. I'm preaching. Seems like I'm just repeating myself. But we need to stand together. We need to start speaking up, all of us, instead of throwing knives at one another. Let the mainstream media do that shit because they do a good job at it. But I'm sick and tired of being divided. I'm tired of it. I want to thank everybody that has joined us today. I want to thank Jimmy Cox, Jeremy, Jay Grady, BB, Links for popping in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching us and supporting me and Brenda. I'm sorry for the little bit of a tirade this morning, but just a little disgusted on what is happening to us as Americans. And I beg each and every one of you, I beg you, let's come together and speak up and quit being so damn divided. I love you guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Brenda?
Yes, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room for joining us today. And, you know, we may open up the chat room once in a while for other things there, any questions or whatever y'all got there in the chat room for us. So, you know, be thinking on it. Think of things that you might like to ask us or know about us or whatever. So, you know, we get acquainted a little bit more, or we may turn it around and start asking you questions. You never can tell what we're liable to do. I'm going to have a show here coming up in about 19 minutes over on my channel for anybody that's interested, because I got a story to tell. I think people are enjoying my little story time videos that I'm putting out. And then Pat has his Hillary videos that he's put out yesterday, so you might want to take a look over on his channel at those. And I hope to see you over on my channel here in a little bit. And we'll be back tomorrow at noon for more of the Level-Headed News. Pat, I'll let you cut out the lights.